And going on. Now I smell a pair of fresh shoes or something. After smelling semen, then clean shoes. Who knows? Most people would ask. You can ask any of the store employees from Mason County, too. Me picking up an item and acting like I'm forcefully, violently throwing it in a cart, they're called complex tics. It's not my fault their physicians never would diagnose the things accurately. So let me tell you about my upcoming appointment with my primary care. That's going to be real interesting, especially after the Regina Case thing with TriHealth. So here's what my doctor said in the past. I would like my medical record amended to, show things correctly. You will at least have it documented for the chronic pain, but there's more to it than pain. The pain is honestly the least of my concerns, even though it's bothersome enough. Waking up every day needing to vomit. Waking up every day with the room spinning sober just because of the shift in cerebrospinal fluid. They're going to try to say that I'm under arrest for doing something. Did I talk about hazing and threat to life, or is that not a defense? They're allowed to do that, according to them. I don't think that includes raping a kid under 12 years old. The rape and the sodomy are both felony charges. Now, if Rachel Weisz wants to moonlight bartending and then work for the felony department, good for her. Let me tell you more about the Weisses. The Weisses are the ones who sold us the Mountaineer that I didn't even want. It's too expensive. I want something cheaper. No, God damn it, you're getting this or nothing. And that's how my father was. My sister bitching about it. Why would you buy him such a nice vehicle? Blah, blah. Even though she got a brand new one. I didn't want the Mountaineer. I really didn't. It's too expensive. So the Weisses sold us the Mountaineer, and the Maysville Police Department bought the alcohol for hazing that wrecked it. Oh, but no, we don't believe you. Oh well. So let me tell you about Nan's excuse. Kay Bennett had kicked her in the stomach when she was pregnant with Nanette, so I was supposed to excuse any behavioral things on their end. My behavior? Nail my ass to the wall. And like I said, Nan always carried a little baseball bat with her. So let me tell you about being smothered out in conversion reparative therapy into the point that's vertebra in my neck looks like a trapezoid. Or no, not a trapezoid, a triangle. They tried to blame it on everything they could. Well, you did get pushed off that bridge and pushed down that flight of stairs. It didn't happen then. Oh no, I was sitting there quietly one evening after child porn productions had commenced. And somebody had said something about me. Well, you said this or said this, said this or said that. Wham! I never realized how bad the symptoms were until people started coming to me about my health. But nobody cared. I mean, why would they want me to see justice when the people representing Mason County Detention Center badge holders, who were, not very good people back then, no offense, why would they want me to be able to see justice when the legal representing the brass ring is producing child porn. I just look at all the cases that get to be reviewed because of that stupidity. You were due in court to test. I'm not doing it. You all can take video submissions as an affidavit and read it into evidence. And that's exactly what I told them. I'm not going into a courtroom with a bunch of people who'd rather see me dead, including the judge. That's not how this works. Oh, yes, it is. Do you know how fast you can bleed out this way? Oh, well. Debbie said that happened because that's what I get for lusting after the flesh. While she was cheating on Donald with Peggy dying in the nursing home. That's how hateful my family is. They acted like they cared. They just wanted cover. Well, Donald had a little too much to drink tonight. Who cares? Oh, well. So you best bet my Aunt Donna, the one in tampons up bad little boys' butts, she went off on Comprehend when they overdosed her daughter. I didn't see her anywhere to be found when I got, my story broke. She was too offended, but such a good Christian. My mother's side of the family threatening to kill Nan and Bill because they babied me, and then coming and crying for forgiveness. Oh, well. So as I said, let me tell you about David Keith Adkins and my cousin Trevor, Queen E. Truesdale's, Metaview ER, trying to get kids high. Brandy was with me. That's another reason they tried to do their shit with her, not to mention the excessive force and drooling on her pussy. So yes, David Keith Adkins trying to get a little kid high on cannabis. Or shall I talk about Christy, Lucas, Tully, whatever it is now, and Kim Henderson Monteith up at Hilltop with Alfred Sims and Apples. Applegate. Oh, well. Like I asked them last time, and they looked at me like I was sick. How high is Vicky Denise on anti-seizure medication? She just fell into the Lexus walking back to your all's car. Oh, well. You all want to complain about what my doctors recommend? Eat shit. It's his fault. If you say so. I got blamed for everything. A straight man accidentally slips because he wants a little action with another man. It's my fault. Oh yeah, poor straight man, so persecuted. You know what? It just makes me sick that I am not able to get up and go and do and contribute. But do you think any of my family sees it that way? They see it as, well, if you're able to sit at a computer, you can find something to do. Well, satellite internet is not a viable option for work-at-home jobs, unfortunately. You know. Well, if you'd lay off the cannabis, you'd be fine. What don't you people understand? And then they want to come in and arrest me and harass me. Watch me burst my temporal artery. And not think twice about it, because guess what? It's my life. They fucked up medical to legal to judicial at every turn. And they want to complain that I've pointed it out. They refuse to do anything to rectify the situation. And then, oh, well, you're a threat to yourself or others. For 72 hours, you're ours, even if it costs $10,000 and you can't afford it. So as I said, let me tell you about passing out in the science wing, Christy Calvert Campbell's classroom with UPS. Paul Jackson was a bigwig with UPS, was drugs and alcohol on the Jackson farm on Jersey Ridge when we were in high school. Never passed out in Shauna Boyer's classroom. Shauna Boyers didn't get her contract renewed because she was not about their rapey fucking dumbass politics. And as I said, Jack and Janet West were our neighbors. The rumor was that they talked about, she's a lesbian. Shauna Boyers is not a lesbian. She should have sued the hell out of Mason County for the way they behaved, lying on administrative paperwork, when in reality the reason they didn't renew her contract was superficial bullshit. I have photographic evidence of more than just me passing out in Christy Calvert Campbell's classroom. That's why they gave me that digital camera, because I started talking about what was happening. Nobody wanted to hear that. Oh, Mrs. Campbell has a heart condition. She has to keep it 40 degrees in her classroom. Tell the bitch to go get treatment. The teachers are tired of donating their vacation time so she can have extra sick days. Jack and Janet West were our neighbors. They don't like the language? Oh well. That's part of the Tourette's and this bludgeoning thing. I worked on it until I was blue in the face, only for other people to step in and say you need this medicine instead. Boo-hoo. Because you refuse to believe. You people refuse to believe that I was violently raped. When I do this, that's the symbolism to the bludgeoning. I've already posted the photo of the scar when I shaved my head, and people probably thought I'd lost my mind. Cops were harassing me one day. Micro Center hadn't opened yet, and a bunch of people were loitering outside. And I had a panic attack with my Tourette's. So I left. Apparently the cops had already been called, and as I was leaving, they turned around and started following me home. Started asking questions, and I'm like, you know what? I don't know why I'm rubbing my left jaw. I took cigarette ashes and rubbed it on my forehead like it's Ash Wednesday. Don't judge me for what I believe. If you want a story, here's a story. I was raped by law enforcement, sodomized by a canine unit, bludgeoned by them to shut me up. Now there's a story. If you want to harass me over Tourette's syndrome in a public place, I'll pull up the Walmart lawsuit and show you the case law where it's covered under the ADA. So let me tell you why law enforcement continually asking the wrong questions led to another suicide attempt. My mother had malicious intent the day she poisoned me. It was not unintentional. Just like the diesel fuel marinated steak, that was intentional. And another reason I started cooking my own food. I think it's sick that our families who human traffic us to pay their goddamn bills can then kick us to the fucking curb, with law enforcement failing to take a report or an accurate one. We don't have to do that. We don't have to do anything. Let me tell you about Ben Harris, Lewis County's attorney. I called him over a threat to life. You should subpoena a couple of things if you want proof of threat to life from your people. I don't have to do anything, were his exact words, and I have it on record. Oh well. I guess I was supposed to hire a lawyer and sue them? Nah. That's bullshit. Just call it all out publicly. Only for them to come in and say the First Amendment doesn't apply to these situations. Me telling my life story and how I was affected. You're not allowed to talk that way. You're not allowed to act that way. Yeah, I am. If you want to violate the Americans with Disabilities Act and open the community up to a huge lawsuit, go for it. That's the problem with the criminal justice system today, because you all don't have to face those penalties. Because guess what? Your appearances have to be maintained so you can take makeup, hair accessories, clothing off on your taxes. I went into cosmetology for a while, believe me, I know. So when Lisa Geary said, at no cost to the taxpayer, what a load of shit. So their legal representation, Lisa Geary claiming that security system didn't cost the taxpayer anything. Well, let me tell you about their legal representation. Here, I'll pull it up. Mason County Detention Center, Maysville, Kentucky. I noticed last time I looked on a public website, well, now it's not opening it. Oh, wow, they've really redone it. Well, let's see. Oh, and now the legal's not on there, but I think I have it screenshotted, where it said, for misdemeanor charges against us, contact Foxwood Wood and Estill. For felony charges against us, contact Kelly Clark's office. They've totally redesigned the website. Well, it's nice that she finally updated the photo to reflect her current appearance. Kentucky Court Dockets, Justice, State, Sex Offender, website. Why would you have a link to the detention center website on the website? Let me guess, Corica? Oh well. I catch a lot. There's a link to the Mason County Detention Center website on the detention center website. And that was me skimming that page that quickly. At least it looks a little more advanced than it used to. It looked like somebody designed it, a 12-year-old designed it on one of those one-piece IBMs in the past. Honestly, look, I'll show you. Mason County Detention Center website. On the Mason County Detention Center website. Corica, I'm assuming. I know him too. Never mind. That happens sometimes. Oh well. I was trying to find their legal thing. I don't see it. They used to have it very up and forward. If you need to contact, attorneys, these are who you contact. Ah, the fiscal court. Well, maybe this is a different one. There. Maybe it was. Yeah, I was wrong. It did have its own private website. Home dealers. Contact, I think. Yeah, here it is. Contact information. County Attorney John Estill, Commonwealth Attorney Kelly Clark. That's who you're to contact if you have any complaints or suits against them. Well, let me tell you about Foxwood, Wood, and Estill and Child Porn Productions and them threatening to put me in a cell with a big black guy again. And guess what? When they booked me, when Devin Hull ran me home and booked me, they allowed a large African-American man to enter almost the inmate intake shower with me. The guard stopped him. I knocked on the door to let him know I had showered. Yeah. Oh well. Their idle threats and threat to life. Oh well. So let me tell you about John Estill as county attorney and blowjobs when I was a kid. Oh well. I hope they have fun explaining all this stupid shit that they did.